Imagine you're using an app designed to protect you, a space made just for women, by women. A place to warn others about creepy dates, to rate experiences, and to feel in control. Now imagine that very app just got hacked, exposing over 72,000 private photos, including selfies, ID documents, and messages. That's not just betrayal, it's a digital disaster. This is the story of T, the app that promised safety, but ended up delivering scandal. Launched in late 2023, the T app exploded onto the App Store charts as a women-only space for vetting potential dates. The premise was simple but powerful. Women could anonymously review men they dated. Users could flag inappropriate or dangerous behavior. A background check-style profile could emerge organically from community input. Tools like reverse image search, phone number checks, and comment histories gave women more control. Its success wasn't just a gimmick. T was built for a cause. In the era of Tinder horror stories and ghosting culture, women were looking for protection and solidarity. Why March 2025, T was the #1 free app on the App Store, beating out Instagram and TikTok for downloads. Why? TikTok influencers began posting viral breakdowns of their T profiles. Women used it not just for safety but for calling out cheaters, ghosters, and catfishers. It became a mini social platform of accountability. Some called it Yelp for dating. Others criticized it as cancel culture with lipstick. But it worked. Millions signed up, uploaded verification images, and began sharing their stories. As T grew, so did the questions. What security systems did they have in place? Who verified that the data was safe? Was anonymity really protected? Users started noticing some images were difficult to delete. Deleted profiles seemed to leave traces. T required photo ID for verification, but what happened to those photos? T claimed that all data was encrypted and secure, but critics warned, you can't build safety on hope. On July 25, 2025, everything changed. Cybersecurity watchdogs discovered that thousands of T-app files were being shared on 4chan, a notorious online message board. The data dump included 13,000 verification photos, selfies, and government-issued IDs. 59,000 public images, screenshots, user-submitted reviews, and shared media. T was forced to confirm the breach. It was real. The leak came from a legacy cloud storage system, left exposed without proper encryption. A data breach analyst put it bluntly. It was an open door. Let's be clear, this wasn't just a list of emails. This was intimate data, often from young women, tied to real-world identities. Among the leaked items, government-issued IDs, uploaded selfies for verification, screenshots of direct messages, profile reviews with usernames intact, geotags and timestamps on images. One security expert said, this is the kind of data that fuels stalkers, abusers, and online predators. In the hours following the exposure, T issued a statement. We are investigating a breach that affected historical data. No current user phone numbers, emails, or passwords were compromised. They emphasized that the exposed data was 2 years old. But critics weren't buying it. Why was outdated data still online? T hired external cybersecurity firms. They promised transparency, but the damage was already viral. Influencers shared tutorials on checking if your photos were leaked. Privacy rights groups condemned T's storage policies. App Store reviews dropped from 4.8 to 2.1 in a matter of days. Was T flawed by design? Some say yes, critics argue. Crowdsourced accusations can be dangerous. Storing IDs for a social app was reckless. Monetizing trauma is exploitative. Others defend T, saying, women need digital safety spaces. It empowered victims to speak. The breach was the tech's fault, not the mission's. This is the tension at the heart of modern digital ethics. Safety versus privacy, empowerment versus exposure. If you've been on social media lately, you've probably seen the buzz, the panic, and maybe even some confusion around what exactly happened. Well, that's what we're here to unpack today. We're going to analyze everything that's known so far, from how this breach happened, what data was compromised, what it means for millions of users, and what the company is doing about it. We'll also talk about the bigger picture, cybersecurity, user trust, and the importance of digital security in our lives. So buckle up, grab some popcorn, and let's get into the details. First off, for those who might not be familiar, what exactly is the T app? Well, it's a social media platform that gained rapid popularity over the past couple of years. It's marketed as a community-centric platform where users can share content, chat privately, join groups, and connect with like-minded people. The app has a sleek interface, appealing features, and a user base that's primarily young adults, folks aged 18 to 35, although it's expanded to other demographics over time. Its core selling points have been privacy-focused features, ease of use, and a community that emphasizes free expression. Now, the app's business model relies heavily on advertising, premium subscriptions, and data analytics. They've claimed to be privacy conscious, but as we'll see, security practices sometimes lag behind their promises. It was developed by a startup that, until recently, was considered innovative and fast-growing. But as is often the case in tech, rapid growth sometimes outpaces security measures. Let's talk about what happened before the breach. The T-app launched in 2020 amid the pandemic, and it quickly became a social favorite. The founders pushed aggressive marketing campaigns, partnerships with influencers, and rapid feature rollouts. Throughout 2021 and 2022, the user base exploded, hitting millions of active users. The company expanded their servers, added new features, and started monetizing more aggressively. However, behind the scenes, there were murmurs about security vulnerabilities. Some users reported account hacking, but these incidents were brushed off or attributed to weak passwords. But in reality, there were signs that the platform's security protocols might not have been robust enough. Internal sources hinted that the company was aware of some vulnerabilities, outdated software, incomplete security audits, and insufficient internal controls, but prioritized growth and revenue over security upgrades. This is a common story in fast-growing startups. In early 2023, there were some minor security alerts, but they weren't taken seriously enough. No one anticipated a major breach was imminent. Now, let's get into the actual breach. The incident was first detected in late September 2023, when users started reporting strange activity. People found their accounts logged out unexpectedly, and some noticed their private messages, photos, and even payment info appeared in places they hadn't shared them. That's when the company's security team kicked into gear. Initial investigation revealed that hackers exploited a vulnerability in the app's API and interface that allows different parts of the app to communicate with its servers. This vulnerability was reportedly an outdated component that hadn't been patched or updated. The hackers used automated tools to perform SQL injection attacks, a technique that involves inserting malicious code into database queries to access sensitive data. Because of poor input validation, a basic security mistake, the attackers could extract huge amounts of user data. It's important to note that the breach lasted for about 4 days before it was discovered. During that window, the attackers had access to a trove of sensitive information. What data was compromised? Well, reports indicate that PII personally identifiable information such as names, email addresses, phone numbers was stolen, but also private messages, photos, and even some payment details for those who had stored their info on the platform. And here's the kicker. Some of the data was stored with weak hashing algorithms, making it easier for hackers to decrypt passwords or other sensitive info. When the breach was finally detected, the company issued a public statement, apologizing and promising to improve security. But by then, the damage was done. The T-app promised power and protection, but it delivered betrayal for thousands of women who just wanted to date safer. Let this scandal be a wake-up call for platforms, for developers, and for all of us online. Because when safety becomes a product, privacy is the price. If this video made you think, hit subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with someone who uses dating apps. Until next time, stay alert, stay safe, and don't trust your data with just anyone.